As we saw in Sweden and Denmark, they've got the kids out. They are not playing in a little playground behind their preschool. And they all seem to wear these vests to identify them as part of this group. So they are out in the fresh air while they can.
In a row, and most of the houses are built out of wood, heated by electricity. 60% of the houses here are heated by electricity. And what do we do for a living? For instance, a shipping yard, building ships all along where Aker Brygge is now. And we going to see here are genuine Viking ships, and they were built in the year 820, 890 after Christ. They were used for 15 years to sail, but then somebody died, the ship was hauled ashore, the dead man or woman was placed inside it, and then they buried it. Yeah. After some years, grave robbers went inside, took gold and beautiful things with them and disappeared. And then approximately 1,000 years passed, and we didn't know anymore what was in these mountains.
Found these ships in the 1800s along the sides of the fjords.
The Vikings probably means people from the bay. And by 800 people from one bay got together, built ships, equipped them, and then they sailed across the sea. And how they sailed, you can see on this map here. First they sailed to England and Ireland, Scotland, later on to Germany, to France, to Spain, into the Mediterranean, to Italy. And on the rivers of Russia, they got to Istanbul, and from there into the Mediterranean. And the Viking Age started, it says here 800, and lasted until 1050, 250 years. Let's move on and take a look at the ships. Called the Oseberg ship. It was found by a farm called Oseberg. It is at the top 21.5 meters long, 65 feet that is approximately, and it is 5.1 meters wide, 15, 16 feet wide. You can see the holes to put the oars through, and there are 15 of them here, so 30 men were rowing and one was steering the ship, so it had a crew of 31. And you can see there's a slot here for the oar blade. Yeah? And there are 12 snakes here, and they are riveted together with iron rivets, as you can see. And there are beautiful carvings of the trunks here, and it ends in a dragon's head up there. But you can look at the rear part of it, because there you go also this house. When it was excavated, it was buried in the year 834. Buried. One of them was 80 years old when he died, and the other one was 50. And the eldest one had died out of cancer. And they had a lot of things with them. 3 sledges, 1 cart, many things for weaving, for spinning, to make the daily food for themselves and things like that. The Vikings believed that life was to go on after death. So what you needed on earth, you needed after you were dead. And she even had grains of cannabis with her. Yeah?
So the rudder's on the right-hand side. On the starboard side, that's where that comes from. Here's the second ship. This one's much plainer. These are skeletons of the 2 ladies who were in that other ship. That was the site of where the Viking ship was buried.
And 6 were fastened to the side of that ship. Yeah? And there must have been a dragon's head at the front and a tail here, we believe. But that was destroyed, so then we don't know what it looked like.
The 50-year-old man that was buried in this ship, this is his remains.
The things that were inside the ships. And this part is really beautiful. There are carvings here also depicting cats. Can you see that?
Yeah.
One cat here and cat's heads up there. So all the things you see here, almost, except for a few things down there to the right and up on the wall straight out, were inside the ship, the smaller one, the smaller ship, with the two women. You can see dragons and snakes, but you can also see some people. One man on horseback, in front of that another man lifting his sword.
Right.
Dragon's heads. This is the nicest one, made out of maple. This is kitchen equipment. Here's a nice sled, all intricately carved. Originally, these were all highly painted. Of course, the paint is pretty much gone, but they have a clue about what the colors were. News. So when the person died, the ships were open, but when they died, they put this on top so that the dirt wouldn't fall on the people and all their possessions when they were buried. So this is the third ship. We don't know very much about it because I didn't hear her say anything, but it's certainly not as in good a shape as the others. But this is what they found, and they haven't reconstructed it, which I think is a good thing. There's a replica of what's on the very top of that Viking ship on the front. Black roofs are more expensive than the red-orange tiles.
Yeah? If you don't look out, if you are a prom princess. Yeah. And she has given, she's almost 10, and a son, and he's almost 8. Ski jump up there to the left.
25% of the
and then we go in and
Norwegians have a
lunch,
boat.
and I'll seat
The
you
other
out.
25%
So
have
it's right next door
cabin.
to the hotel too.
Some are cabin.
So we'll go in and
Some
we'll have
have
lunch,
both.
and then I'm gonna get.
It's a nice building. And here is
So
our
once you get
hotel,
your luggage
the
into-
Continental. In Oslo, here is our room on the 4th floor. Some people are on the 8th floor, but we're on the 4th floor.
We're in the building.
It is a large room. It even has 2 luggage racks. That's the first time on this entire trip in 3-4 weeks that we've had 2 luggage racks. Flat screen TV, not terribly large, but it'll do. And here's our view outside. This restaurant is part of the Hotel Continental in Oslo. The cafe opened in 1900 and is located across the street from the National Theatre that opened the previous year.